everyone has stem cells in their body. And then those stem cells are going to become other cells. They differentiate and they'll become liver cells, kidney cells, muscle cells, etc. And they go through this division. They're going to start out, let's say, as a pluripotent cell. Then they become further differentiated into a multipotent cell, and then finally the highly specialized cell. And what we wanted to do was, first, even if a person was over the age of 50, 60, get that stem cell to function like a younger, healthier cell. That'd be one thing. Second thing is the copper peptide activates what's called the P63 gene, and this is going to increase migration of stem cells. So meaning when a person has an injury, now those stem cells can get to where they're needed to repair the injury. And then lastly,
hello and welcome to StemCells.news. I am Brady, Theodore, the Gotti, and today we have a very special guest, David Schmidt, owner and founder of a company that has stem cell technology, wearable technology that supports the growth of stem cells within our body that will enhance energy, sleep, skin tone. David, tell us a bit about you, stem cells, and how you got started.
And first, thank you so much for having me on today. It's really a privilege to be able to get to spend some time with you today. So thank you for that. So what are stem cells? Well, stem cells in their broadest sense are universal cells, and they eventually become every other cell in the body. So your heart was once the tissue in the heart, they were once stem cells. The muscle tissue, they were once stem cells. And what's important here is that as we're looking for ways for people to stay younger longer, or even someday reverse the aging process, we want to look at stem cells because the stem cells age with the rest of the body. And the discovery that we have been exploring is how to make stem cells that are already in your body younger and healthier. So this opens up a tremendous avenue for youth renewal, getting the body to function in a normal, healthy way, and even partially reversing the aging process. So these are all things that exist today.
Well, that sounds amazing. You know, when people reach 40 years old, I mean, I'm over 60, but when we reach that age, we need to find something that will stimulate our bodies, something non-transdermal that has no chemicals or anything in it that will make us feel better, look better, and knock out those aches and pains out of those joints. What is it? How is it? What does it do? And how does it work?
So we started on this project about 12 years ago now. And the stem cell industry at that time, and even today, there hasn't really been a huge success in stem cells because they're still very expensive. There are risks associated with injecting stem cells, and stem cells have not had broad regulatory approval across the globe. So what's the interest here? Well, it's that somebody is, let's say, over the age of 60, as an example, and they have an injury. The function of those stem cells that are already in their body has declined 60 to 80%. So if we could inject young, healthy cells into the body, we could heal that body as if the person was younger. The only problem, again, is because the injections are expensive. They're not approved yet, and they can have side effects. So in other words, the stem cells can attack healthy tissue and cause damage. So the approach that I wanted to investigate was, is it possible to take the stem cells that are already in the body and reset them to a younger, healthier state? The advantage to this would be it's potentially very inexpensive, extremely safe because the stem cells are already in your body, and it would be very, very efficacious. And this could be something that could be made available to everyone. So it took us about 10 years and over $4 million. We worked with the National University of Ireland in Galway at their Regenerative Medicine Institute, which is one of the top 2% centers in the world globally in stem cell research. And as a result of that, we produced this product called X39, and it stimulates the skin with light. This causes an increase in a peptide, which is a signaling molecule for stem cells, and it will reset the genes on stem cells in the body to a more youthful state. And now, even if a person's 50, 60, 70, 80, those stem cells will start functioning like younger cells and start to repair injury and offer many, many other benefits.
Well, let's take a closer look at this X39.
Right.
You know, women in particular want something like a come to Jesus moment where you put it on, wipe it off, you look better and you feel better. And it's not just women, it's everybody around the world. We all want something that is going to make us feel better overall and look better. So what is it that this X39 does? How big is it? Where do you place it? How does it work?
Yeah, so I started Lifewave in 2002. So it's 19 years for me, and plus another 3 years prior to forming the company of doing the research. So I'm well into over 20 years working on this at this point. I never thought I would say that, but it's been a pretty long time. So after all that time, we've accumulated over 80 clinical studies. People can go to the science section of our website and look at some of those clinicals. As an example, on X39, we have 9 clinical studies that we've done. The FDA requirement is only 1. And what we want to look at is really understanding how does the product have an impact on the blood, on the urine, on metabolism. We've worked with a nuclear engineer who specializes in brain mapping, and we get extraordinary results in looking at how this improves cognitive function, even in people that are over the age of 70. So, you know, how does this all work? Well, you put the patch on, it will stimulate the skin with light. There's no drugs or chemicals or nutrients that are going into the body. We're just stimulating the skin with light. This will then cause an increase in copper peptide, and this peptide has the ability to activate the body's stem cells. So what are some of the benefits? Well, this improves the metabolism, which we've demonstrated in our urine studies. So that means within the first 24 hours, people feel an improvement in their overall levels of energy. When we are activating stem cells, some of the biochemistry of the body changes. For example, BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, is a control mechanism for stem cells in the brain, and BDNF is controlled by something called GABA. And so we see when we use X39, GABA levels go up. As a result, people get improved levels of sleep their first 24 hours.
What is GABA?
Yeah, so GABA would be something you could find this at a health food store. People take it in a supplement form, and you can think of it as a precursor to melatonin. So GABA is going to put people into a relaxed state, and then serotonin levels and melatonin levels will.
So this will also help you sleep better?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Another thing that copper peptide will do is help manage inflammation. And this is critically important because stem cells are attracted to inflammation. And if there's chronic inflammation in the body, that of course makes it very difficult for people to heal because stem cells are killed by inflammation, ironically. They're attracted to it and they're killed by it. So if we can manage the inflammation, we have a better chance of healing from injury. So pain relief, pain management is something that people experience with X39. And then, of course, the two big ones are we see dramatic improvements in wound healing, very, very rapid wound healing. And we also see a phenomena called youth renewal, which is healthy people that use the product begin to look and feel younger.
That's amazing. Now, I read an article recently where like 1 in 3 people walk around in discomfort or pain. I really think it's more like 3 out of 3 if you include myself.
Right.
What will this do to make you feel younger, look younger, give you more energy? You said it makes you sleep better. This is all wearable technology. And I know people use Google searching for health products that are going to help them rejuvenate their body to have more energy. They don't want chemicals, they don't want drugs, they want something all natural. And we're all looking for something like this, a miracle. And it seems to me that this could be a miracle within a patch. Hard to believe. And it works off of light, non-transdermal, no chemicals, no nothing. How do you apply this? How big is it? And how long does it last? Can you give us some more insight into that?
Yeah, so the patches are pretty small. Let's say they're about the size of a quarter or so. And they resemble a Band-Aid. They're about the size of a round Band-Aid. And you would simply apply it to either behind the neck or below the belly button. The product, it works systemically. So regardless of where you apply it, it's going to work. We found that through our research. And most people are going to apply it in the morning and then remove it at night. So it's a disposable phototherapy product.
So this is non-transdermal. You use it once a day, put it on, then remove it. And then what do you do after that? And how does this continue to help out? When we're talking about all this, people walk around in this discomfort, and if you're walking around in pain and it's level 5 and you can get it down to a 3 or a 2, you'd feel great. If you're in excruciating 8, 9, 10, if you could drop that down to a 6, 5, 4, you'd feel so much better about life. You could go through your day happy as a clam, I would think. I know I would. So when we're talking about this X39 patch and what it does, what else can this do to help in producing stem cells in our body that is going to give us more energy? And does this have clinical trials? Is this tried and true? Does this work for everybody?
Yeah, so, well, there's a lot of ways to answer that question. I mean, first, I was a good science student in high school. I loved biology, and I was also good at computer science. And my guidance counselor said, well, computers are the future. Maybe you should go in that direction because you're really good at it. And I got 2 years through college with computers and realized that this was not how I wanted to spend my future. So I finished a degree in management information systems, and then I went back to school to get a degree in biology. And I was very fortunate. I went to Pace University in New York, and I made friends with the chairman of the biology department, Bill Ventura. And he was kind enough to donate his lab to me so that I could do cancer research. So I did cancer research for 2 years. And this is kind of relevant because what I was finding was that it was possible to selectively kill different types of cancer cells electromagnetically. You could do it with energy. You didn't have to do it chemically. And this set me on this path of looking at manipulating biology with energy. Of course, Dr. Robert Becker, who is the author of The Body Electric, he was the one that really showed that you could control the chemistry in the body with the electrical properties of the body. So that was some pretty seminal work. But I developed many years later, I had a company and I worked with a group of guys, and we were developing equipment for the U.S. Navy through government contractors like General Dynamics and Newport News Shipbuilding. And I got invited to be part of a design team for one of the Navy's next generation mini subs. And the crew of the subs were Navy SEALs. and we wanted to find a way of improving their survivability. And because I've been interested in health and fitness my whole life, I thought, well, these guys are taking caffeine, they're taking amphetamines to stay awake on some of these long missions. Maybe we could find a way that we could improve their energy without having to use a chemical or a drug. And that's what started me on the path of Lifewave.
Well, that is great. And those are some great credentials. You are top of your class, where I was just part of the class that gave you the top of the class. Anyway, what other products do you have down the pipe here? And what benefits will we be getting from those products that you see on the horizon? What is it that will help us the most and give us that daily regimen of no drugs, but more energy, more sleep, better skin? Overall, how does it work again? And what do you have coming up that's going to really help us out?
Yeah, so you actually said something that was really interesting, and that was that our products have multiple benefits. So the very first product that we launched was Lifewave Energy Enhancer, and this is a product that increases fat burning. So the benefits are pretty obvious. It's a way to naturally improve energy through fat burning, and it gives the body constant, stable levels of energy throughout the day. But surprisingly, this product has a very, very powerful anti-aging and longevity effect. What we did was we took people and we put them in a room that was completely dark, and we measured light emission off of their body. And what we found is that using Energy Enhancer puts the body into a state of coherence. So in other words, as we age, the structure of the body changes and we fall out of coherence. It's like, going from a brand new house to an old house, things are broken down. And that's what happens with the human body. But if we can keep the body in coherence, we can repair things, we're not going to age as quickly. So Energy Enhancer, surprisingly, we found over time, had this anti-aging longevity benefit. We've also developed products to manage inflammation in the body, which is, of course, great for people suffering in pain, but also has long-term anti-aging effects. We found ways to, with light, improve athletic performance, detoxify the body, protect the body's cells. We've elevated antioxidants like glutathione. So basically, there's a broad way that we can improve the biochemistry of the body with light.
This is so interesting. Today we're interviewing David Schmidt, owner and founder of this light therapy stem cell patch. He's talking about glutathione. I'm not sure exactly what that is and what it does, but you've got some great products here. It seems like they have clinical trials behind them. What is it that this patch works with light, and how does this work, and what will it do for the overall effects of what we need to do in our bodies? Glutathione, I've never really heard of it. What is it and how does it work?
Yeah, that's right. So glutathione is the body's master antioxidant. It's a simple tripeptide, and it acts in many, many different functions. So as an antioxidant, it's going to protect the tissues in the body. It will recycle other antioxidants in the body, like vitamin C, coenzyme Q10. It will also act as a chelating agent to pull things like mercury, heavy metals out of the body. So glutathione has been used in hospitals and clinics for decades as a way to treat heavy metal poisoning. So it's incredibly valuable. Glutathione will even protect the DNA from damage. So there's some really interesting studies that show that if the cells are damaged, let's say by ultraviolet energy, if you keep your glutathione levels elevated, it will repair that damage to the DNA before the cells divide. And that way you don't carry that genetic damage over into the next cell division. So the problem, though, is that people aren't going to go to a hospital on a regular basis for an IV of glutathione. Glutathione has a half-life of 7 minutes, meaning that once you get the IV, an hour later, your glutathione levels are more or less back to normal. When you take a glutathione pill, it will take 30 days just to get an increase of 14%. So this incredibly valuable antioxidant, and how long we live, by the way, is connected to our body's levels of glutathione. So this is incredibly valuable. So our approach was, let's elevate glutathione with light. So just like we can elevate vitamin D with light, let's come up with the code, the wavelengths of light that we need to elevate the glutathione. And what we found is that we could do that. And not only that, we could get up to 300% increases in glutathione in the blood within 24 hours. So people, when they start using it, they detoxify right away and they start getting the benefits right away, as opposed to having to wait a month.
Again, so very interesting. So all these products are tried and true, and you have clinical trials to back all this up. What else can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right. You know, we never will put a product out at market unless we have clinical studies to back up the statements that we make. You know, that's an ethical position that you have to take as a company. And, you know, as the spokesperson for the business, I have to be able to say, well, look, we're making this claim. Here's the evidence. You know, otherwise, you know, you're just doing a disservice to yourself and others. So, yeah, absolutely. Every time we make a statement about our products, we have a clinical study to back it up.
Well, you must be using your own products. I don't know your age, but you're looking great.
Or yes, 58 next month. I set a goal for myself when I turned 54, and I did a push-up challenge. And I did 403 push-ups in 28 minutes. So my goal for 60 is I want to do 600 push-ups in about an hour. And, you know, this is just all in thinking. Age does not have to be the death sentence that we make it out to be, meaning we don't have to age as our biological age goes up, right? Or chronological age goes up, I should say. So in other words, we're living in an era where age reversal is becoming practical. The technologies are being developed, and some of them, like X39, are available today. So this means that we get to keep our muscle, our bone density, our cognitive function. Our own research and our independent research demonstrates, even for people over the age of 70, you can reverse age-related cognitive decline. You can reverse age-related sarcopenia, muscle loss, and so these things are available to people. So you don't really have to decline in mental or physical performance as you age. You can get better if you want to.
This is something else. And I'm sure everybody listening and watching today, speaking with you, David Schmidt, that they want more information. I'm going to provide a link or something in the header description of this video where they can find out more about your products and the company and what they will do for us overall. If they help eliminate pain, discomfort, they help you sleep better, they can make you look better, they give you more energy, and they produce stem cells in the body. What exactly is it with the X39 that helps promote the stem cells that does all this for people? Again, how does this work and where are you going with all this?
So there's multiple things that are going on here. So the first thing is everyone has stem cells in their body. And then those stem cells are going to become other cells. They differentiate and they'll become liver cells, kidney cells, muscle cells, etc. And they go through this division. They're going to start out, let's say, as a pluripotent cell. Then they become further differentiated into a multipotent cell, and then finally the highly specialized cell. And what we wanted to do was first, even if a person was over the age of 50, 60, get that stem cell to function like a younger, healthier cell. That'd be one thing. Second thing is the copper peptide activates what's called the P63 gene, and this is going to increase migration of stem cells. So meaning when a person has an injury, now the stem cells can get to where they're needed to repair the injury. And then lastly, we want to increase the total number of stem cells. This research was first done in Japan, but incredibly what it shows is that you can take the stem cells that are in the skin, you can revert them to a universal pluripotent stem cell, and then the pluripotent stem cell goes into the blood and it goes to where it's needed to heal. So copper peptide does all of those things, meaning you get more stem cells, you get them to go to where they're needed, and then the stem cells are going to act like a younger cell.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Again, we're interviewing David Schmidt, and we're going to provide the link or someplace where you can go to find out more about David and the company and this stem cell generating patch that his company has. What is your mission for the company, for yourself? Where is this going into the future, and what do you have coming down the pike in ways of new products that are going to help us feel better, live longer, less pain, sleep better, better skin? What else do you have there, David?
My attitude about this is, look, we should all be serving others for the greater good. There's a lot of people out there, they're suffering physically, with finances. So many people got hurt because of COVID, and anything that we can do as leaders to be examples to others, to be donating money to help feed people, help people in recovery, have technology that can heal. For me personally, that's what I find rewarding. I want to have the role of a servant. My mission statement for the company has really changed over the years. When I started, I was just an inventor that wanted to find a company to sell this technology. And when I couldn't really find a company that really understood the vision for where this could go, that's how Lifewave started. But now, 20 years later, really the mission of the company is becoming to create technology that offers a healing experience in every different aspect of life. So, for example, when you wake up in the morning, let's say you go have a glass of water. Well, what if that water was embedded with energy, and that could start the process of regeneration and rejuvenation? We have a technology that so you would have the very water that you're drinking is a healing experience. You go to your kitchen, you want to make breakfast. We have a technology that we developed and patented, and it would be effectively a hydroponic garden, and we can dramatically change the nutrient profiles in fruits and vegetables, and these can trigger healing effects in the human body. So you start out your day with nutrient-rich food, and these support overall healing and regeneration. The process of sleep, when you go to sleep at night, why not incorporate technology into your mattress or your pillow that is going to regenerate and rejuvenate the body? Of course, we have patches that people use today during the day and in the evening that offer a healing experience. So these are just several examples. So basically what our goal over the next 10 years now is to continue to release new stem cell products. We have targeted applications of stem cells, and then we have other technologies that go beyond that. But the ultimate goal is that we want to empower people with these technologies so everything that they're doing contributes to healing and regeneration. And this way, people can have a life without pain, without injury. They can stay young and healthy and vital as long as they wish. And if they're already, 70, 80 years old, they can dramatically improve the quality of their life. So that has very much become our mission statement now.
That is quite the statement there, David, and that is amazing. Love it, love it, love it. I was wondering what you are
Right.
planning more of in the future, because so many people walk around in discomfort. Uh, they're they want to feel better. We know that the stem cells is regenerating within our bodies with no chemicals, with no drugs, and it's making us feel better. It's giving us a healthier lifestyle. We're looking better. Where's this going from here? What do you have planned? And what are your final thoughts about your company, you, because I know that you are a giver, you're a man of God, and you want to help so many people in so many ways. What else is it that you can say to us in your final parting words? Because I know we've been on about half an hour and you're a busy man and got to go.
Jesus and God played a little bit of a joke on me, because when I was younger, I thought to myself, I was in a prayer group, and I thought to myself, okay, when Jesus was walking around physically on the planet, he was either healing people or feeding people, right? He was also teaching people. Well, those were two of the things. So I thought, well, I don't want to be a farmer. So maybe I'll focus on trying to heal people. And that became my career. So the joke was I invented technology for farming to enrich. So it looks like, in a way, I'm becoming a farmer. But I'm glad I did the healing part first, right? So, yeah, I guess what I would say is, first, people should feel empowered and not live in fear. It is really troubling to me that leadership in the country took this path, without naming names. People took the path of putting people into a state of fear over COVID. And why weren't people talking about, hey, 80% of the people that are dying from COVID are dying from a vitamin D deficiency. So why not take a vitamin D supplement? In China and Australia, they're giving IVs of vitamin C as a cure for COVID. That's very well established. So why isn't our government talking about that? We did our own study in New York. No, but we found this does this one last thing. We found that copper, right? Oral copper supplementation is an effective way to prevent the symptoms of COVID. We did a study in New York. We gave doctors and nurses supplemental copper. When they got infected with COVID, they were asymptomatic. They had the infection, didn't even know that they had it. So this is information that, our leadership in government should be talking about. But since they're not, people in our community, we need to be talking about these things so we can empower people so they don't live in a state of fear. And our community needs to be giving people financial opportunities so they can be self-sustaining and be able to provide for their families. So I love the industry. I love what our industry represents, that we can empower people and give them freedom. And it certainly changed my life.
David, I agree with everything you've said. If you can change people's lives through health and wealth, it's a double whammy positive. And I love you for it. I love your passion in this, everything that you've done, because so many people in this world today are looking for something all natural that's going to help their bodies regenerate so that they can not only feel younger, look younger, have more energy, sleep better at night, excuse me, and continue on in their daily business. The body is an amazing thing. The better regimen you have with less chemicals, more natural, that can rebuild, help your body regenerate, it will do the work for us. It'll make us feel better. We'll be healthier, and we'll go through life with better health, better wealth, by telling others about this, just like you do with us today. I know that we've been on for about half an hour now. You are a busy, busy man. You're out there in the lab probably most all the time trying to come up with new, better therapies to help people out. And we love you for it, David. I hope that we have a chance to have you on again at some point, because this has been extra special. Again, we're going to leave the information where people can get to learn more about you and your company. Thank you so very much.
God bless you as well. Thanks for having me.